I enjoy playing early access games and being a part of the community that shapes the full game. But with that said, I am also guilty of putting it down after some progress to just wait for its full release so I can fully get back into the game while enjoying all of its features. If you're not familiar with early access, it means that the game is available for purchase before it's fully complete. This allows developers to receive and incorporate player feedback into their games before its 1.0 version. This is a great opportunity for the players to have a direct impact on how the game fully materializes and for the developers to further improve their game. In this video, I will talk about 5 games that I'm really excited about and why you should be excited about it too. These are all currently in early access, but they should be coming out into their full versions in 2026. I will also talk about some of the big changes that happened in the game since its early access release, so you will have a gist of how much the game has grown if you've played it during its early access release. Let's start off this list with a very popular game that you might already know about. Fields of Mistria took the cozy gaming world by storm when it first released into early access last August 2024. This is a farming sim with a nostalgic 90s art style where you can build the farm of your dreams as you discover magic, romance, and adventure. Like a typical farming sim, it has farming, ranching, fishing, mine exploration, and relationship building, but it adds a twist of magic. There's honestly no groundbreaking new mechanic in the game, but I feel like it was able to improve upon the foundations laid by Harvest Moon, Story of Seasons, and Stardew Valley. It feels like they listened to player feedback and did the changes a lot of farming sim fans were looking for. To state just a few examples, we can save at any point, which is a big deal for me. Plus, they incorporated a global storage right from the get-go. I also like how my character can swim through rivers and jump down cliffs. It makes navigating around the world seamless and fun. However, what makes this game really stand out, in my opinion, are the characters. The NPCs are diverse, interesting, and dynamic. They don't simply say the same stuff over and over again, and they react to what's going on around them. If you see characters close to each other, they are usually engaged in a conversation you can listen to. They also react to what you do around the town, like when you donate something to the museum, they will talk about it with you so you feel that what you do around the town really matters. You will also see the townsfolk helping you in the town revitalization so you don't feel like you're doing all of the hard work alone. These little details really make the world feel alive and immersive. Every Friday night, the townsfolk will also gather at the local inn where you will see them in groups engaged in different activities like playing cards or playing Dungeons and Dragons. Each Friday, the dialogues and happenings progress, and it's definitely something I didn't want to miss. This is really a classic take on the farming sim genre done right. Since its early access release, the developers have been continuously adding new cutscenes and heart events, new festivals, more skill perks, new mine biomes and monsters, new map areas, and new NPCs and market vendors. They also introduced a dating mechanic, farm and ranching automations, a greenhouse for year-round farming, and a large and extra-large storage chest for my fellow hoarders. Of course, we can also now expand our house and farm areas with the new clothing and furniture items for those who enjoy customizing their character and home. The game is set to release into its full version in 2026 for PC, and this is a game I will surely put more hours on. While waiting for the game, you might want to check out my playthrough of the game in early access, which I will link below. The next game on the list is Critter Cove. This is a single-player game released on Steam last September 2024 as early access. The developers plan to release it on both Xbox and PlayStation after the game launches into its full version sometime around summer of 2026. As the player, it's your job to turn things around for a struggling town in a post-apocalyptic paradise. In order to develop your town, you would have to open shops and decorate it to attract tourists. As you earn more money from them, you can improve your town further, attracting even more tourists. This forms the basic game loop that will help you rebuild the town of Critter Cove. For each shop, you need to assign a worker from your townies to generate revenue, which means you also have to invite critters to live in your town. As you explore the other islands around you, you will encounter random shipwrecked critters that you can invite to your town. You would then have to befriend them in order to make them permanently move in. You cannot romance NPCs here, but you can still make them your friends, give them gifts, and assign them to various jobs around town. This game also has a heavy focus on crafting and exploring the world to gather materials. Crafting is essential for creating items and decorations to place in your town. I also really enjoyed exploring the world of Critter Cove. While the map might seem empty at first glance, there's a lot going on underneath the water. You'll discover sunken cities, lots of shipwrecks, and scattered notes that offer clues about how the world ended up in this state. Another highlight of this game is its character creation, which offers a wide array of human, animal, and even robot features. All of it can be mixed and matched with various different color patterns to choose from, so you can make your character truly unique. Aside from continuous bug fixing and game optimization, here are some of the notable additions to the game after its initial early access release. You can now move chests, including the items inside of it while you are in decoration mode. This also applies to planters with a plant, and this is a really good quality of life improvement for decorating and rearranging your town layouts. Automation has also been improved with the assistance of robo-helpers that help with salvaging, and the new gardening job for townies will help you water your crops. They also implemented one of the most requested features when this game first launched, and it's the ability to kick out critters from your town to make way for the ones you want there. The maximum amount of residents you can have in your town also increased. There are also new critters, outfit, furniture, buildings, and locations to explore. Don't worry because your boat can also finally have speed upgrades to make exploration smoother. If you want to have a better idea of what to expect from this game, you can check out my in-depth early access review, which I will link below. Then we have Ova Magica. This is a game that gives off the vibes when Stardew Valley meets Pokemon. This is a single-player, wholesome JRPG farm game inspired by the classics, and it was released on Steam as early access last July 2024. The game is set to release on consoles including PlayStation, Xbox, and the Switch once it releases into 1.0 version around sometime in 2026. The developer has already started beta testing for the 1.0 version, so if everything goes well, we can expect this full release early next year. In addition to the common farm sim elements like farming, crafting, and romancing the townsfolk, you get to have these cute and wobbly creatures called blobs. They come in dozens of varieties which you can breed to have unique features and stronger skill sets. These blobs can be used to battle other trainers, and they can also help you around your farm by watering your crops, making trees grow faster, or even helping you build relationships with the townsfolk easier. Of course, you need to keep your blobs happy by taking care of them daily and keeping their barn suitable for their specific preferences. There are different ways to fight other blobs in this game. You can battle other trainers by talking to them and challenging them to a fight. Then there is a blob league where you can compete against other trainers in an arena. Plus, you can battle against wild blobs which can be found by exploring the mines, by fishing, or by going in expeditions. Speaking of expeditions, there are different portals that will lead you to different types of blob worlds. Each world will have a certain theme with different types of blobs that can be encountered and different items to be collected. The battle is a clever twist of the common turn-based system, and if you want more information about it, you can watch my in-depth early access review for this game. I also really like the quality of life features here. Like in Fields of Mistria, the game incorporated a global storage and a save at any time feature since its initial release. I really think that even just these two features already greatly enhance a player's experience in cozy games. Plus, the game was really polished even during its initial early access release, which shows how much attention to detail the developer has put into making this game. Right now, we can already set blob battle difficulty to easy or default and set our preferred length of days. But due to player feedback, the developers said they will be incorporating even longer daytimes and the ability to disable fainting at midnight for the game's 1.0 release, to further increase the player's control on how stress-free they want their playthrough to be. Aside from that, we now have the ability to keep blobs in flint storage once our barns are full, a blob paradise where we can leave our blobs for training, a greenhouse for year-round farming, a blob dye center to recolor our blobs, and various quality of life improvements like being able to save in fast travel points and seeing more information about a blob's skills and abilities during battle. Of course, there are also new blob worlds to explore, new blobs, and items to discover, new friendship events, and higher tier blob tournaments. Up next, we have a city building theme that has changed and improved so much since its early access release last June 2024. This is an addicting game where you play as the mayor of a town that starts out with a crumbling economy and empty homes. So it's up to you to build and manage everything from the ground up. Place buildings and plat out zones to entice visitors to move in so you can build shops, hire workers, and automate your processes. The best part is, you can play this game with up to 4 players in a local or online co-op that was released in the game's last major update. Aside from managing your shops, workers, and local economy, you can also terraform the land and customize your house to make your town uniquely yours. When I first played this game in 2024, it seemed like a cute, enjoyable city builder, but it felt short and lacking in content. However, with its recent additions to the game, I'm confident that players will be able to spend more time playing it, especially with the addition of big customization features. The game has had 6 major updates already, and let's look at some of the most noticeable changes so far. A bigger town map that is surely needed with all of the new things we can add to it now. A zone customization where we can totally personalize the layout and location of each space. This means we can split up our farms or expand our fishing zone. Anything to make the zone match our vision. We will now also be able to rotate buildings, including the train station and zone entrances. With the increase of town area, it was only necessary to also add new modes of transportation, including fast travel. There are also new vehicles that you can park and summon in vehicle racks or via your interdimensional pockets. Then, there's been a lot of new decorative items, and now you can also decorate your own house as the mayor. The house customization is just amazing, with a color palette slider and lots of new objects that you can put both inside and outside the house, including rugs. There are also new townies to meet and new shops to build, so the developers also introduced a new town info app that will help you monitor your growing number of workers, shops, and the problems that come with managing your growing community. With most of the planned major updates already released, and console versions planned sometime in 2026, the full version of this one might be just around the corner. Last but definitely not the least, we have Doloc Town, which is a pixel art side-scrolling farming simulation. Doloc Town is a post-apocalyptic sanctuary built from the remnants of trains and collapsed bridges. There you can connect with villagers and uncover the hidden stories of this land. As with all farming sim games, you start with a bare plot of land that you will need to build from the ground up. But what makes this one different is that, since it's a 2D side-scroller, you would have to build your farms vertically. Craft your own planter boxes and platforms that you can stack together to utilize your space better. Instead of getting different seasons, you will have to deal with harsh elements of the post-apocalyptic world, including scorching heat waves to deadly acid rains. As you unlock more abilities for your character, you will be able to explore more locations with some minor platforming challenges. There's also combat, and you will be able to get a drone that can automatically shoot the enemies for you so you can focus on dodging and platforming yourself. If you want more challenge, there's also an option to manually control this drone yourself. Like in most games in this list, during this game's initial early access release, the controls were already smooth and the quality of life features were well thought of. For example, you can save in the middle of the day, make dialogues move faster, craft multiple items at once, and inventory management is so easy with all the quick buttons for easy sorting. I also just love the art style and vibes of this game, and the music ties it all together nicely. This one has no official announcement for its full version yet, but from their roadmap, the target for the main story conclusion is in the first half of 2026. And most early access games release into their full version once the main story ends. However, given that the game just released last May 2025, I am a bit skeptical but still optimistic that we can have the full release by next year. So far, the team has added ranching with fish keeping and animal breeding, new furniture, new buildings, new tools, and additional storylines and related quests. This game is shaping out to be a unique addition to the farming sim genre, and I'm eagerly looking forward to its full release. These are all the early access games I'm looking forward to the full release in 2026. Let me know if I missed your favorite games. If you like farming and live sim games similar to those in this list, I will be uploading a list of the best upcoming games in 2026, so make sure you are subscribed to get notified.